Good morning from the Washington, D.C. suburbs. Welcome to the second annual Global Education Conference. Last year, we had the pleasure of hosting this conference at the Embassy of France in Washington, D.C. And today, based on world circumstance, I have the pleasure of hosting you from the basement of my house in Reston, Virginia, USA. What an amazing change in circumstance. I hope you all are healthy and stay healthy. I'm Victor Shiblie. I'm the publisher of the Washington Diplomat, which for 26 years has connected the diplomatic community in Washington, D.C. with the U.S. government and business community throughout the world. While our core business is connecting people and fostering international understanding, we are now on the frontier of educating people and convening international events like this through creative and new platforms. This shift in how we do business is emblematic of how education is changing. I'm hosting you from the basement of my house and reaching people throughout the world. Today, it has become the norm to have professors in the United States teaching a course in his or her basement, reaching students in Beijing, Sao Paulo, or Lagos, Nigeria. And this has been done for a few years now, before by choice, but now we have to. The Global Education Conference will help you understand the new future of education, what is in store for foreign students coming to the United States, and other important topics like how a Biden administration will change the face of U.S. education. Today, I'm happy to have the ambassador of the mission of the European Union to the U.S., Stavros Lambrinidis, open this event with U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Education and Culture, Royce. Throughout our two-day conference, we'll have a group of impressive speakers, including the former Secretary of Education under President Obama, and other educators and professionals who have an interest in helping in all facets of education. In the last year, we've learned about Zoom, and it has become an integral part of our lives, at our homes, used at work. It is a new tool of communication. However, today you have joined us through a relatively new platform, Hop-In. We searched for a platform that would give you the next best experience to a live conference. Hop-In was created only in January 2020 and has quickly become one of the best platforms on the market. Hop-In's founder, the young Johnny Bufarhat from the UK, has raised more than $200 million to build this platform. Amazing growth with a little bit of a learning curve. As we use this platform, please be patient and be curious and take the time not only to go to the main stage to hear our speakers and panelists, but do go to the networking area and expo booths where you can meet your colleagues and you can chat with them. You can chat by video face-to-face. This is an incredible experience. Trust me, you'll be safe and you can still conduct business in this new platform, which I predict even beyond this pandemic, this platform will be still used as a new way of doing business. One advantage of this type of conference is our reach, which has attracted an international audience. Today, we have attendees from Japan, Pakistan, Indonesia, Israel, Morocco, Lebanon, Ghana, Belgium, Nigeria, UK, Canada, and many other countries. So I want to first start by thanking the people that helped put this together, our staff, Rod Carrasco, Fuad Shiblie, Emily Jane Matthews, Isabel Matthews, our moderators, Albert Machaiber, Anna Gavel, our managing editor, who will be moderating many of the panels. And I want to thank our sponsors and partners who helped make this possible. Cigna, a health services company that operates worldwide. Google, the American multinational technology company. Arizona State University, #1 for innovation for 6 consecutive years. Centana, which connects universities to world-class resources and expertise. Sahori Insurance, which has been serving the diplomatic community for more than 50 years. Georgetown University, the oldest Catholic and Jesuit institution of higher education in the United States. Also want to thank Gallup, West Virginia University, Radford University, the Institute of International Education, the Merit Academy, and the embassies who have joined us here today. And I hope you'll stay with us for the 2 days. Enjoy this event. Feel free to ask questions during the sessions. Give any comments you like. We'd love to hear from you as we go along. So now I'd like to turn it over to Ambassador Stavros Lambrinidis for some opening remarks by video. Enjoy this event. Thank you.
Dear friends, we're just a few weeks out from the start of the next US administration. That has led many to examine the state of the transatlantic relationship, from our strong trade ties to our shared values, and how in a changing world, the EU-US partnership is crucial for our economic recoveries, our security, and tackling some of the biggest challenges we face, from climate change to digital transformation to the pandemic itself. But underpinning these policies and all the work we do together, the beating heart of our relationship is our people-to-people relations. That's what makes the transatlantic relationship so special. That's what makes it tick. We have so many ties of family and friendship across the Atlantic. As a Greek in the US, I can certainly testify to the fact that you can find a Greek American around every corner. And the same exact thing can be said, of course, for the Italians, the French, the Irish, the Poles, every other EU member state with vibrant diaspora communities here. Our professional and academic exchanges are a crucial part of these shared experiences. These personal encounters help to reinforce and sustain the shared values that bind Americans and Europeans so closely together. The EU Embassy in Washington plays a key role in facilitating transatlantic dialogue and interpersonal encounters through a number of programs involving a variety of stakeholders. These range from our EU Visitors Program for young professionals, through group visits for congressional staff, to city pairings and exchanges for educators, scientists, and environmental and other experts. Now, we also support initiatives aimed at educating the next generation of transatlantic leaders and foster expert dialogue on key policy priorities. The Schumann Challenge, our flagship foreign policy competition for university students across the US, only last month saw a record-breaking 29 universities from all over the United States participating, and they were brilliant. During the 2018-2019 academic year, more than half of the over 340,000 American students who studied abroad chose to do so in Europe. We are proud of that. And many of them come via the EU's Erasmus Plus exchange program. And at the same time, thousands upon thousands of European students come to study in the United States every year. I personally was fortunate to be one of those European students coming to study here. And if you detect a slight American accent mixed with my Greek, well, that's where that is coming from. The experience of studying in the United States changed my life forever, shaping me into becoming who I am today. It gave me friends for life, and it made me love and care deeply for this great country and its people, and certainly helped prepare me for my current job as the EU ambassador to the United States. So, as someone who can personally attest to the immense value in transatlantic educational exchanges, I am thrilled that the Washington Diplomat is putting on this conference today. Dear friends, the coronavirus pandemic has caused widespread disruption to education, highlighting the importance of distance and online learning to ensure the continuity of education and training under these exceptional circumstances. But of course, it cannot become the new normal. Maybe it shouldn't. In Europe as well, we're discussing the digital transformation of our educational systems in the context of COVID-19 recovery. One day after your conference on December 10th, the EU will hold its third European Education Summit, which focuses on building a resilient European education area by considering very similar topics. In all our discussions today, I want you please to keep in mind one of my favorite quotes from Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. Education is indeed extremely powerful. A few days ago was the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls. In our international human rights work, we in the European Union, above all else, focus on educating girls. Why? Because nothing empowers women and men more than education. Education for all is a prerequisite for equality for all. And there's another Mandela quote that I hold dear. and with which I'd like to close. He said that people do not get born hating each other. A black baby and a white baby, you put them together, they probably are just very interested in each other. Hate, he said, is taught. And if you can be taught how to hate, then you can be taught how to love. In too many societies today, division and hate are the order of the day. Maybe, just maybe, education more broadly, and even your conference here today, can help us all learn a little bit better how to love. So today, you should talk about this powerful weapon and how to best use it. And as we can see from our transatlantic exchanges, it can truly change the world for the better. Now, it is now my distinct honor to introduce as the next speaker, the Assistant Secretary of State for Educational and Cultural Affairs, Marie Royce.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Marie Royce, the Assistant Secretary for Educational and Cultural Affairs, or ECA, at the U.S. Department of State. It's a pleasure to join you at the Washington Diplomat's Global Education Conference. You are international education leaders and government officials, and we know you play a crucial role in promoting global student mobility. ECA's work is central to U.S. foreign policy. We support people-to-people exchanges, which enhance the mobility of the world's brightest students and scholars, and create mutual understanding between the people of the United States and other countries. We value the contributions international students make to our nation. International students contributed nearly $44 billion to the U.S. economy in 2019 alone. In addition, they form bonds with American students that build future business and trade, and foster scientific and diplomatic ties that bolster U.S. innovation and enhance our overall national security for generations to come. International students bring diverse perspectives to our campuses and communities. At the same time, they gain an appreciation of American culture and values. This leads to increased mutual understanding. The State Department is a leader in sponsoring exchanges, such as the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, the International Visitor Leadership Program, and Mandela Washington Fellowships for Young African Leaders. At last count, 565 heads of government have participated in Department of State-sponsored exchange programs. There are currently over 1 million alumni of ECA exchange programs. And as we announced in the most recent Open Doors report on international student mobility, over 1 million students studied in the United States for the 5th consecutive year. This administration is committed to international student mobility and to maintaining the U.S. as the top study destination. Our message is clear. We welcome students from around the world to our schools and communities. As a global community, we are experiencing unprecedented challenges. Despite the obstacles, ECA continues to provide robust educational programming for international students and scholars, and for Americans who wish to study abroad, including through innovative virtual programming. This includes the Fulbright program, the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship Program, and the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship Program. I want to thank the U.S. higher education community for your tremendous efforts to support students and to continue providing the quality education for which the United States is known. I also want to thank the many partner governments and institutions that contribute to the success of our exchange programs. Your contributions and support for exchanges build stronger relations between the people of our nations. As you may know, the U.S. government engages in strategic dialogues with partner government counterparts, such as Qatar, Iraq, Greece, and others. In these dialogues, we work to emphasize the importance of educational cooperation and exchange between nations. I'd like to tell you about a few of our recent successes. This summer, the State Department agreed on a plan with the government of Kosovo to further strengthen our partnership on the Fulbright program. for which Kosovo is a strong contributor. I met with the Foreign Minister of Kosovo in early August, and our embassy colleagues in Pristina have acted quickly to move the partnership forward. In 2020, the State Department's Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship Program signed a new agreement with the French government for partnership in funding the program. In addition, the government of New Zealand increased its funding contribution to the Gilman program. These agreements allow us to provide even more opportunities for outstanding and diverse American undergraduate students to study or intern abroad. For the 2019-2020 academic year, the State Department's Humphrey Fellowship Program renewed its partnership with the government of South Korea. This joint effort supports outstanding mid-career professionals who study democratic governance, sustainability, public health, and education in the U.S. Through these and other initiatives, State Department exchanges serve as a leader and catalyst for broader efforts around the world. We reach students and emerging leaders who want to study and gain expertise in the U.S., and we also reach Americans who want to go abroad. As you all know, the State Department promotes U.S. higher education abroad through our Global Education USA network. Education USA operates in over 180 countries and territories around the world, providing information about the over 4,000 accredited U.S. higher education institutions. We're now prioritizing outreach to high school counselors in other countries. We're actively promoting transfer pathways between community colleges and admission to a four-year institution, what we call the 2+2 model. This initiative highlights unique opportunities and cost savings available to students at U.S. community colleges. We've greatly expanded our already robust online presence, shifting to virtual advising during the global pandemic. Our Education USA network has exponentially increased its social media activity. As a result, we've seen a 20% increase in engagement since last year, with over 5 million followers and over 3 million direct contacts per month. And with the help of a leading marketing company, we are piloting a campaign to promote the United States as a top global study destination in select countries. Our commitment to international students also extends to our visa operations. U.S. embassies are dedicated to opening where it is safe. At our peak, we were processing student visas at 24 of the top 35 sending countries. These countries represent 89% of total international students to the United States. While that number has recently dropped for safety reasons, we expect international student and exchange visitor visas to continue to be prioritized wherever feasible. The State Department is committed to ensuring that qualified international students are able to study in the U.S. We understand the extraordinary challenges that higher education institutions are facing during the global pandemic. We are focused on strengthening their efforts to expand their global reach with additional resources. For instance, we shifted the timeline of our annual Education USA Forum to October this year and transitioned to a virtual format to encourage as much participation as possible from the higher education community. The forum brought together over 2,500 registrants, including over 700 U.S. higher education institutions, to discuss key issues in international student mobility and internationalization of U.S. campuses. As I mentioned at the start, the U.S. government welcomes students from around the world. As President Trump has stated, our universities are available. The world comes in. They use our universities. We have the greatest system in the world. We want to thank all of our partners in this important effort as we work together to expand international student mobility. Our efforts help strengthen the capacity of our people to contribute to the global economy and build strong relationships with counterparts from around the world. Thank you again for inviting me to speak to you today.